It's the year 1934. A brilliant Swiss psychiatrist named Carl Jung sits in his study, watching a rapidly industrializing world with growing concern. He begins writing a series of letters and essays about the dangerous tempo of modern technology. Jung's core warning wasn't about the machines themselves, but about what they did to the human spirit. Science and technology were advancing so fast that human consciousness was running away from its instinctual, soulful roots, leaving the unconscious far behind in a defensive, fractured state. He feared that an overstimulated, device-driven world would turn humans into mere extensions of their tools, exiling the human soul into absolute alienation. He believed only a radical, conscious return to simple, grounded living could save us from this technological inflation. He had no idea that nearly a century later, his precise remedy for the digital age would manifest in the real-life choices of an international superstar named Keanu Reeves. We live in an era that embodies Jung's worst technological anxieties, a hyper-connected, fast-paced digital landscape driven by dopamine clicks, curated online masks, and persistent psychological exhaustion. Yet right in the heart of this machine, Keanu Reeves stands as the ultimate psychological counterweight. He takes pay cuts for film crews, sits quietly on public curbs, rides the subway like an ordinary citizen, and handles viral celebrity with an unassuming, quiet detachment. Through a true Jungian lens, Reeves isn't a dystopian illusion, he is a living blueprint of how to survive modern life. He has mastered the art of loosening his identification with the social mask, demonstrating exactly how a human being can exist within a high-tech society without letting the machine consume their inner essence. This is how the world's most grounded megastar became the living solution to the technological crisis Carl Jung diagnosed decades ago. Section 1. The De-Commodification of the persona. In his foundational work on analytical psychology, Jung noted that society demands an individual put on a persona, a social mask or system of adaptation designed to make a specific impression on others while concealing one's true, complex nature. Jung warns that the great danger of modern life is when an individual completely identifies with this mask, becoming entirely hollowed out by their public role. In our digital world, social media has forced all of us to build and maintain these synthetic, highly curated online personas. Now consider how Keanu Reeves interacts with his own global celebrity. When you look at the viral moments that define him, whether he's eating a sandwich alone on a park bench, waiting in the rain outside his own rap party, or practicing hover hands to maintain respectful boundaries in fan photos, you are looking at an intentional de-commodification of the persona. To Jung, a healthy psyche requires an individual to consciously step away from their social mask to keep their true self intact. Reeves does not treat his fame as an identity, he treats it as a job. In a culture where technology urges us to constantly perform, amplify, and sell our lives for digital validation, Reeves uses his real-world humility to actively dismantle his own celebrity status. By choosing to ride public transit or sit on a curb, he steps out of the artificial, godlike projection of Hollywood stardom and roots himself firmly in ordinary human reality. He shows us that the ultimate shield against the inflating, distorting effects of modern media technology is a conscious, radical commitment to remaining ordinary. Section 2. Cinematic Catharsis and Shadow Integration. Carl Jung famously asserted that every human being possesses a shadow, the unacknowledged, repressed, and instinctual aspects of the psyche. Jung explicitly warned that when a society utilizes rapid technology to focus solely on materialistic, highly controlled conscious pursuits, the collective unconscious is pushed into a defensive position, creating a universal will to destruction. If we do not actively look at our shadow, it will burst forth destructively in reality. This is where the profound duality of Keanu Reeves' career mirrors Jung's exact formula for psychological balance. In real life, Reeves is entirely peaceful, gentle, and soft-spoken, yet his cinematic legacy is defined by characters who navigate absolute chaos, simulated realities, and hyper-violent shadow landscapes, from The Matrix to John Wick. This is not a psychological fracture, it is a masterclass in archetypal balancing. Through his art, Reeves channels the collective shadow of a highly stressed, automated society and expresses it safely within the boundaries of cinema. He plays out our deep architectural anxieties of being trapped inside a digital simulation, or our deep repressed instinctual rage against a cold, unfeeling system. By serving as a conscious vehicle for these dark, heavy archetypes on screen, he allows the global audience to experience a safe, creative catharsis. He models the exact Jungian process of shadow integration, confronting the darkness, giving it form, and channeling it into creative expression so that it does not manifest as real-world destruction. Section 3. Synchronicity over digital speed. One of Jung's most vital contributions to understanding human experience beyond purely material explanations was his theory of synchronicity, the concept of meaningful coincidences that defy logical cause and effect, connecting our inner psychological world with outer reality. Jung noted that the breathless haste of modern industrial life strips away the quiet, reflective space required to perceive these deeper, meaningful rhythms of existence. Today's digital devices are designed to destroy that space entirely, replacing true inner timing with instant gratification, algorithmic tracking, and a relentless forced tempo. Reeves's life operates on an entirely different rhythm. He's famous for pausing deeply before answering questions, refusing to be hurried by the late-night television or press junket demands. When asked on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert what he believes happens after we die, his soft, timeless response, "I know that the ones who love us will miss us," stilled the entire room. He did not offer a calculated, media-trained soundbite. He accessed a universal, archetypal truth. By slowing down his inner tempo, Reeves resists the artificial, mechanical pace of our digital device culture. He protects the exact psychological environment Jung begged modern humans to preserve, a state of patient, conscious awareness where we can deeply take each other in, allowing genuine human connection and natural synchronicity to occur outside the boundaries of a digital screen. Section 4. The Path of Individuation. The ultimate goal of Carl Jung's entire psychological system is individuation, the lifelong process of integrating the conscious and unconscious elements of the mind to fulfill one's true, unique self. Jung emphasized that individuation requires a person to actively resist the leveling, homogenizing effect of mass collective movements, warning that true healing only happens when we increase the value of individual consciousness. Modern technology, conversely, thrives on mass conformity, utilizing algorithms to create echo chambers, digital trends, and a uniform way of thinking that flattens individual uniqueness. Keanu Reeves's life choices stand as a definitive manifestation of successful individuation within a demanding modern world. Despite being a premier commodity in a multi-billion-dollar industry, he lives entirely by his own quiet rules. He doesn't own massive social media accounts, he doesn't participate in the digital attention economy, and he continuously redirects his immense wealth back into the human collective, quietly funding children's hospitals, giving massive bonuses to special effects crews, and collaborating with independent artists and thinkers. He does not seek collective validation because his center of gravity is entirely internal. He proves to us that it is entirely possible to navigate the modern, high-tech landscape without losing your soul to it. He is the comforting proof of Carl Jung's greatest promise, that an individual who does the quiet, grounding work of self-actualization can become an unshakable beacon of peace, wholeness, and genuine humanity in an increasingly mechanical age.